Welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. My name is Betty Johnson, so glad to have you along. This first week in July, today is July 1st. You know, the summer is a third of the way over yet, so we hope you are having a good summer. We've got a great lineup of guests on today's show. We'll tell you about that in a couple of minutes. But we do want to mention that if you are just joining us, you can catch us 6 days a week on Charter Channel 8. Also, summer is lots of vacations. You can keep up with us, take us along. We're out there on the internet. You can find us at YouTube, blip.tv, as well as Facebook. And if you push that button and like us on Facebook, then you'll also receive a direct link to each new show on your Facebook page. And always, if you have some ideas for about guests or questions, comments, or topics, please let us know. You can do that via email at owatonnatoday@charter.net, or you can contact Leanne Alt, our producer, at 390-5751. And on our show today, we have a great lineup of guests from the Owatonna Public Library. We're going to talk about books for the summer with Darla Lager and Bonnie Krueger. And our second segment is going to be all about theater. Footloose is the play that the Merlin Players, or musical I should say, will be putting on. And we're going to be talking with Eric Parrish and Kim Schaufenbuel and learn all about Footloose. And we're going to be starting that right after this break, so please stay with us.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now, I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltfett of Horizon Eye Care Professionals. Eye care you can trust. We're proud supporters of Owatonna Today.
We are back, and we've got some great ideas for books for the dog days of summer, or those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer when it's just too warm to do anything. You want to kick back and relax and have a glass of iced tea or lemonade. And some great books, and we're going to be talking with Bonnie Krueger and Darla Lager. First of all, Bonnie, you have adult books and ideas for us for summer.
Right.
So when you say it's hot reads, is there a criteria that you have for what you consider hot reads? How do you choose them?
Well, hot reads are whatever you enjoy reading.
Okay.
Okay? And as you said, or led in with, it's kickback, it's relaxing time. So sometimes it's just more casual reading, fun reading, not things that you maybe have to think so hard about.
Something heavy and...
Right. But then if that's what you really want to get into because you have that time to devote to that and your mind is a little more clear maybe, go for it, you know?
And what are some of those titles and books that you can recommend for us today?
Okay, well, before we were talking about how Betty's favorite author is maybe Janet Ivanovich.
No, not maybe.
And that's great. She has a great following. Her Stephanie Plum series is just...
I like the latest
so great.
Things, yeah.
Right. And she's crazy, and of course now there's been a movie out too and everything. But she's just came out this week with a new book called The Heist, and it's a new series. And she's teaming up with Lee Goldberg, who is the monk author and TV show writer.
A different character? She created a new character?
Yes, 2 different characters. Okay. And I think the female protagonist is her image, and the male is Lee Goldberg's image.
And she usually has sequels, so it'll probably be a series of those.
Yes, yes. From what I haven't had time to read it yet because it just came out yesterday, but from what I'm seeing, it's definitely one that will continue. And for those Stephanie Plum readers like you are, Betty, just hang on. In November, we're coming out with Takedown 20.
So I probably should get down to the library as soon as it comes out because chances are it's going to be out a lot.
Yes, we have 3 or 4 copies. They're all out already, and so get your name on the list. So another one this summer that just came out is called The Quarryman's Bride by Tracy Peterson. Tracy was here in April promoting this series, which is set in Minnesota. It's called The Land of Shining Water. And the first one was actually set in Waseca. And now this one, The Quarryman's Bride, is up in the St. Cloud, Sauk Rapids area.
Okay. The Stone Quarries.
Stone Quarries, definitely. And it's set in the 1886 time period. And it's she's a Christian fiction author. So there's that for those people who enjoy those stories. And it's about how the daughter is left to care for the parents after her other siblings have passed away or whatever.
Is it set in modern times?
No, 1886. Okay. So it's a historical Christian fiction, sort of. Another one is a little bit heavier maybe, or mystery-oriented, is The Stranger by Camilla Lackberg. She's a Swedish author, Swedish fiction. And this is really popular right now after the Stieg Larsson books, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, etc., etc. And Camilla has been the best-selling author in Sweden for several years, especially female fiction. Her other books include The Ice Princess and the Stonecutter. And this one continues the Detective Patrick Hedstrom series. So anyone that's been familiar with her will probably pick up on her as well.
So it's not a mystery comedy?
No, not a comedy. No, it's heavy. It's a little bit heavier mystery compared to.
I mentioned that because the books I read are comedy mystery. So
and comedy is great. Light reading for the summer. Sophie Kinsella is another example of a lighter read. She just came out with The Wedding Night, and how one sister is trying to destroy the wedding night of her sister because she doesn't like who she picked to marry. She was the gal that wrote the Shopaholic series.
Okay.
So you know that they're kind of fun and light. So,
and do you have any romance
novels? Well, that would be one as an example.
Okay.
Susan Wiggs is really popular right now as well. She wrote the Lakeshore Chronicles series, and now she's starting a new series, and this is called The Apple Orchard. So this is kind of romance, it's women's issues, it's just that interrelational thing too.
And these that you have are?
These are actually books on CD you can take with you.
Traveling.
I have one going in my car all the time, even if I'm just bopping around Owatonna. So it's great.
Especially if you don't have time to read and you want to...
Right. Yeah. And we also have access to ebooks through Overdrive at the library, so you can take your Kindle with you and do it that way too. We try and provide all different ways for people to keep on reading.
And that's great, but I have to say one thing about the Kindles and that. Someone was telling me they were sitting in the airport waiting to board a plane, and lots of people there. She was the only one who had an actual real book.
Okay, good for her.
So let's keep books alive here, the actual books too.
And that's why Darla is
convenient to have that if you're traveling, but
and that's why Darla starts with this with a little
and get the kids, get them going on.
And that's why it's so important
for the kids in the summer, don't you?
Yes, we do.
And I should mention that Darla is in charge of the children's section of the library. And do you also help with the programs that you do for like the summer reading programs and things like that?
I do story time and I arrange all the programs for the summer.
Okay, so what I asked you, off camera, what if there's anything that are popular for kids' books right now? Oh. If a grandparent or a parent wants to get them a book or something and they're not sure, what are some of the more popular books?
Well, Fancy Nancy is one of the popular little girl series, and this is her brand new one, Fancy Nancy and the fanciest doll in the universe.
Oh, my granddaughter.
And
loves like the princess style and all very girly things.
And she speaks in French, and then she translates it for you while you're reading it. So it's a very popular series for girls, and we always buy 3 copies or 4 copies of it because they're always out.
Universe. Okay, and that what age would you say that would be for?
Oh, they start with like 2 and 3 year olds all the way up to maybe 6-year-olds. Really okay. Like Fancy Nancy.
6, all right.
And then we have Legos, and this is the Lego minifigure character encyclopedia. So it's all the little figures that come with Legos, and it's the history of them. They're on series 10 now of the little Lego figures. So.
And do they have little stories that go along with them?
It's mostly just explaining what they are, like the tennis player.
And then Legos are still as popular as ever.
Oh, of course, yes. And Star Wars. This is the brand new Star Wars Clone Wars book. And it just came out, and it's the episode guide, so you can see from the show and then read about those stories. And then one of my new favorites.
That looks intriguing.
Nugget and Fang. I love shark books. I do many story times on sharks and fish. So this is the newest one where when I bought it, I said, I have to have it myself. And an old favorite, but re-released, all the Where's Waldo books. All in one book.
Those are fun.
This is perfect for traveling because it's nice and small, whereas the Waldo books used to be really big. So this is all the Waldo books in one book.
And I think, keep with the books. They come with those cameras you can have in the back seat. That's cheating. Something like this, have the books.
And a newer fiction book, new series. It's kind of like the Wimpy Kid books, but this is the Dork Diaries. So if you've read all the Wimpy Kids, you can switch to the Dork Diaries. And this is Tales of the Not So Happy Heartbreaker.
That looks like a rather thick book. So is that probably for older kids, like 9 and 10?
But it's like her diary. So it's got funny pictures.
Okay.
And then one of my favorites, the new Elephant and Piggy. They are hilarious to read. They are the most humorous little animals you've read. I could read. This is A Big Guy Took My Ball.
Now, do you have storybooks if someone comes in and says that might focus on a particular topic, like, well, now bullying comes to the forefront?
We do.
And so they can learn about it in a story form like that that's easy to understand?
Yes, we do.
Would it be that or some disabilities or some other, things like that?
Potty training.
Yes.
That's a big one. So, and if you decide you need books on bullying or on potty training or anything, you can call ahead and we'll actually pull a basket together for you.
And briefly, too, why don't you give our viewers, remind them when you have story time for kids. So if the kids are home and they're driving you crazy, or if they're babysitting or grandkids or something like that, you can take them to the library.
Story time is Tuesday mornings at 9:30 and 10:30.
9:30 and 10, and that runs through the first week of August, you said?
The story time actually runs through August.
Through August. That's great. That's great. So you can always get down to the library and keep those books coming. So, Bonnie, Darlene, thank you for joining us today, and we hope people will take advantage of the services at the library throughout the summer and come back and tell us more when you have other programs that will be up for fall, I'm sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
When we come back, we're going to be talking Footloose. So stay with us.
I'm Diane Wilson of Profinium Financial, the bank that helps you achieve your financial dreams. Profinium Financial is proud to be a supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Everyone deserves opportunities to have a good life, a quality education that leads to a stable job, enough income to support a family through retirement, and good health. But the reality is, many children fall behind, many families are struggling, and many others are in poor health. United Way's goal is to find long-term solutions. Thanks to a grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation, we're hosting community conversations this year to address these issues. If you'd like to join us, please call our office.
Hi, I'm Rick Smith, Golf Course Superintendent of the Brooktree Golf Course. Brooktree is an 18-hole championship golf course featuring well-manicured greens, tees, and fairways. We are open to the public. I challenge you to find a better maintained golf course for the money we charge here at Brooktree. Come on out and play Brooktree, a great golf course.
Hi, this is Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better. At Amy Swain Hearing Centers, we offer many different brands of hearing instruments because everyone has a different lifestyle. Let me, Dr. Amy Swain, help you find the best hearing device for your hearing needs at Amy Swain Hearing Centers of Owatonna, Austin, and Waseca. Call 1-800-804-3361 for an appointment today, or visit my website at www.amyswainhearingcenters.com, because you deserve to hear better.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
We are back. We're now going to be talking about Footloose. It is the latest musical that the Merlin Players are going to be performing this summer. Now, there was a re-release of the movie, Footloose, and hopefully the play will stick pretty close to the movie. That's what people are familiar with. We're going to find out all about that from its director, who is an area young man, Eric Parrish from Medford. A lot of you will probably remember him if you've been in some LTO productions. Eric, glad to have you along today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Now, Footloose, how long has that been out in a musical form play?
The musical came out in 1998, okay. And it's an adaptation of the original film. You know, it's part of this new genre. It's called musicals, which is a movie that's turned into a musical, as opposed to a musical that was filmed.
Right. Or they do a Broadway version of,
Yeah.
So Footloose, first of all, what are the dates of the performance before I forget to ask?
Open on July 26th, and so it's that weekend, 26, 27, 28, and then the first weekend in August, the 1st through the 4th. So there's 2 matinees, the 28th and the 4th.
So there's a good number of performances.
Yeah.
So, okay, now that Footloose, and a lot of people are familiar with that, especially the music. How many songs are there in the music?
Well, kind of the main 4, you know, the big Almost Paradise, Footloose, Let's Hear It for the Boy, you know.
Can you believe how much popular music was popular from that movie?
Yeah, it was very popular.
Now, was anything changed music-wise for the stage adaptation? Because sometimes, you know, they'll come in and usually when they go from stage to movie, they change a lot of things. Is that the same?
Yeah, well, they've added some songs, you know, so that there are other characters have songs, like the Reverend Shaw has a couple of songs, and his wife Vi, who's played by our very
Kim Schaufenbuel.
famous Kim Schaufenbuel. So those characters have songs that weren't in the film, because the characters are now singing the songs as opposed to being background.
So, well, on the movie version, it was a musical, but when you get staged, you need more music, because you can't go to as many locations for different things, so you fill it in with music. Why don't you give us a rundown of who some of the top cast members are?
Well, Kim is playing Vi, and Craig Berg, very familiar face to LTO audiences, he's playing Reverend Shaw. And Spencer Versteg from Owatonna High School is playing Ren. You know, so
how many you have? How many? Well, let's say teenagers are in the cast.
There's approximately 16 teenagers. 16? We're about 30, right around 30 cast members.
So that's a decent sized cast to manage.
Yeah.
You have a lot of different areas now. Music. Are you doing the music?
No. My friend Nathan Kennedy, we were roommates in college at Gustavus, is coming down to be our music director, and we have a band on stage. And then the choreographer, Nikki Kreminga Hill, is also a Gustavus grad. And she's coming down from the Twin Cities as well.
So are those personnel that you were familiar with and worked with before? Did they?
Yep. They're people that Nathan and I have done. We did Camelot for the Faribault Area Community Theater a while ago.
So how big an orchestra do you have or something like that?
There are 7 pieces, right? It's electric guitar, it's a rock group.
It's not like an orchestra that you think like what a lot of LTO musicals have, but for this you need to be more rock. I bet the kids are having a ball.
They are. It is, yep.
And it's come, like I said, they made a movie version of it again, so it's coming around again for another generation of it, because it was, mid-'80s when it came out, wasn't it?
83, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's that long ago, so now it's coming around again.
Yep.
So what do you find has probably been some of your major challenges for directing this?
Well, I think the major challenge is with these musicals, there's no scene changes, so it's constant. Once we start, we keep going, and so incorporating how do I move the scenery and how do I keep the characters engaged, even though we're not, stopping, changing the set, and moving on. It has to keep flowing. Okay.
So you have to have different sections of the stage that you float around in that.
So the lighting designer becomes really important because they need to be able to, crossfade like a movie would. Okay.
Do you call that suggestive staging? Is that what?
Suggestive? Yeah. Suggestive staging.
So I guess I would have to say costumes probably weren't too difficult with this.
It's
current. Sure, the first was in '83, but it's modern day.
Well, we're staging this musical in the current original period of '80s.
Of the '80s. Okay, so then you have to have some of that big hair.
Big hair, yeah.
Oh, and the hairspray. Okay.
Yes.
All right, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And the padded shoulders and
absolutely.
How did I wear that? It's always so much fun.
Yeah.
Now, with all those people on stage and all that music and the lines, how long have you been rehearsing?
Well, we started on June 3rd. And, we rehearse 4 days a week and various things. We spent a lot of time on music, in the beginning, and we're having dance boot camp. So we're a whole week of just dance boot camp. I told everyone, get on your cardio because we're going to
just work on that, get in shape.
It's a big dance show.
Well, a Footloose, I mean, Kevin Bacon had some wonderful dance scenes.
Yeah.
So, the lead characters, they are dancers as well.
Yeah, well, that's one of Spencer's assets.
Great, because you don't find a lot of boys that want to get out there and just dance away on stage. So.
Spencer's wonderful.
That's great.
We have another gentleman named Damien that is dances. He's been to New York and LA and stuff. So he's doing.
And that is so lucky that you could come by that. Now, again, this is coming up in the end of summer at the Paradise Theater. We do want to mention that. Someone isn't familiar. Merlin Players have been there for a little while now. That is your home.
Yeah.
And you have throughout the year different plays and musicals. And how often does the Merlin Players do musicals? Was it one a year?
They try to get one in this every season. This is their first big summer musical in several seasons. So, that's one reason we're doing this big production with bringing Nikki in and things like that. We do have an arts board grant, with Nathan and, people who are working professionals in this genre.
This is probably the most pedigreed artistic staff that I've ever worked with. And I've done 20 plays, so it's really a real benefit to the community to have Eric back and doing these kinds of things, and then also have Nikki and Nate here. It's really impressive for the kids to get involved with very talented staff like this.
To work with.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, how many musicals do you think you've directed over the years? Would you?
I'm just musicals. Recently, I'm into 10, 12 of those. So
good experience. Yeah. And the more you do, of course, the more personnel that you can bring to the theaters and give them that credibility. Yeah. That community theaters, it's nice to have. Yeah. Now, the Merlin Players function a little different than LTO in some ways.
Absolutely. We're more of a regional professional organization, so we try to do things that are a little bit more challenging, things that you're not normally going to see at every other community theater in the area. And just on the topic of tickets, I want to say make sure you get out and get your tickets early. I mean, call the box office. We have a number of big groups that are coming, and it's going to be a hot ticket for the summer. So
when do they go on sale to the public?
2 weeks before opening.
2 weeks before. Okay, so, and we'll probably have the number up on the screen as well there.
Yes.
So they can call and write that down. So we want to make sure we keep up on that too. And, Faribault is just right down the road, so it's not far distance at all to get some good theater in the summer between LTO and the Paradise. It's really, and you guys go back and forth between the theaters, so the cooperation there, so that's always nice to have too. So is there something you want to mention, Eric, that I didn't touch on?
No, just that, I think it's really great that the Paradise Center is doing the things and the activities there that they are doing. They're, the arts, in terms of arts classes and pottery and, in providing theater. And, Merlin is allowed to be in that space. We're, residents in that space. And that's really important. And you can see it helping to revitalize downtown Faribault economically.
And they always have good productions. They're always the Merlin Players. Yeah. Now, we have about a minute to go, Kim, so there's a couple other things you did want to mention.
Yes, absolutely. This is my arts beat, so I want to make sure and remind you that this is great summer art fair season, and the Owatonna Art Fair is coming up at the end of this month as well. The Secret Garden Tour is happening on July 21st, and the arts fair itself is going on the 27th and the 28th. And in addition to that, there's an Egan Arts Fair, there's the Shakopee Arts Fair, there's the Uptown Arts Fair later on this summer, so get out there and really love up the arts, get around and see all of the pottery that you see and the photography and the jewelry that's out there.
Lots of opportunities.
Lots of opportunities, yes.
And now July being here, that's going to be a lot of things all around the area. So you can basically drive to any town and find something.
Yeah, absolutely. Support the arts.
Yes. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank
you.
Eric, we hope you break a leg.
Yes.
When we come back, we're going to be going over some announcements that we have. So please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jake with Napa Auto Parts.
Napa has the know-how for all your automotive needs.
Napa is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Did you know that it is illegal in the city of Owatonna to host or allow a gathering where minors will be consuming alcoholic beverages on your property or in your residence? Did you know that it is illegal to provide minors with alcohol unless they are your own kids in your own home? Underage drinking leads to increased risk of future chemical dependency, engaging in more serious criminal activity, and becoming a victim of a crime. Please help keep our kids and our community safe by not encouraging, hosting, or allowing underage drinking. This is a message from the Owatonna Police Department and the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County.
We are back, and this is the 1st of July, which means in 3 days is the big 4th of July celebration. And as always, Owatonna has a fabulous fireworks display that they have out at the fairgrounds. Of course, you can see it in the sky. Everybody loves the fireworks, but they do need some financial help from the city of Owatonna and all the citizens to be able to give us such a fantastic show. And it is put on by the early edition of Rotary Club, so they're going to be asking for some financial contributions to enable them to put on a great show for next year. If you'd like to make a contribution, all you need to do is contact John Havelka at 456-0945, and we want to keep those fireworks flying out there for the 4th. And we're not too far away, about 6 weeks, and the Steele County Fair is going to be here. The premium books for the fair they're now available at different outlets around the county. They're available for pickup at the local fair office, of course. You can get them at the Chamber of Commerce office, along with Steele County Banks, the public libraries, Kotke Jewelers, 4-H Extension office, at the studios of KRFO and Cows Radios, Let's Ride Tack and Apparel, Krause Livestock and Sinoptra in Hope, and the Steele County Administration Building, in Medford at Ann Horns and Triumph Graphics. The premium book is also posted on the fair website at www.scff.org for all the information you need. And the Festival of Trees is a fundraiser for the Advocates for Developmental Disabilities. It takes place in November, but they now have the trees for sale. There's different sizes of trees that companies can purchase, as well as groups or individuals as well. So if you would like more information about purchasing a tree or to become a decorator, you can call Lori Running, the director, at the ad office at 451-9769. And we were talking arts a while ago. There is Art Paths, and they have Art Camp coming up on July 9th, 10th, and 11th. And the time is in the morning sessions or evening sessions at Kaplan Woods. And for more information, you can contact, where's the contact number here? I want to make sure we get that. You can contact the Arts Center. I'm sure they can give you some information for that, too. They have Art Camp 2, which runs July 16th, and then the 3rd Art Camp at the end of the month, July 23rd. And that, again, is through Art Paths here in Owatonna. And don't forget the Meals of Hope, which is a community meal for anyone that may need a hot meal, being served on Sunday evenings from 5 until 6:30 at Trinity Church. You need a ride? Just call 451-5240. And that is our announcements that we have for today. This Monday, please join us on Wednesday when we're going to have some more interesting guests. Tanya Paley is going to be along with the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition with a couple of interesting guests. And then we're going to be talking with Lori Running from the Advocates for Developmental Disabilities. So we hope to see you then. Have yourself a good Monday. For Leanne Alt, I'm Betty Johnson, and this has been the Owatonna Today Show. Thanks for joining us.